Watch Transit TV right now.
Alright, keep watching Transit TV.
When it comes to financials. So even if United have 1 billion today to sign players, they can't spend that money except they are profitable as well. So the earlier he understands that, the earlier the people who are calling for TV, welcome back again to this studio. Welcome back to Transit TV. I have my brother Ubum back to see you. Good to see you again in the studios to do what we normally. I know we've missed a lot, so we just need to catch up on. The EPL. Today's show is the all things EPL. Considering the fact that EPL has gone halfway into the season and the second half of the season, and is beginning to shape up. So many ups and downs as usual, but this time around, different unusual thing happening to usual people in the league. Yeah, so we're going to break this one down today from Manchester City struggling this season to Liverpool surprisingly topping the charts. Arsenal trying to catch up. Nottingham Forest, from nowhere becoming trying to look like what will I call it now, the Leicester City of this season. And many more. United also rooted in the 12th or 13th position, not the Tottenham Hotspur as well. One would have thought that Ange would have kicked on this season, but it looks like it's going to worse, though you have issues of injuries. Yeah, with my brother, we're going today to give you a little bit of our thoughts on this one, and hoping that you will also contribute yours in the comment section and let us know what you think. Ubum, you are welcome to the show.
Hi, Reggie. Hey, Transit is home. Home sweet home.
Yes,
good
sir.
to be back on Transit. It's been a minute. I missed everyone. Those that have been following the channel right from inception. Glad that you're still hanging with us. Please invite more people, invite even your enemies, let them watch and catch up on the latest in African football, European football, world football. We are here all the time discussing all the things going on. Look forward to a successful 2025.
Yes. Yeah, right. Don't forget to, just like Ubum said, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not done so. If you're new to this channel, you guys are really doing bits on that front. The channel is growing. I'm not going to lie. You have a lot of views now. We need you to share more to your friends, especially for people who have interest in African football. Right after this video, go and watch the Enyimba and Zamalek highlights. We'll have so many other highlights there for this year's CAF Confederation Cup on the channel. We'll be covering a lot of African and Nigerian league games this season. So those videos are out there for you. Check them out and also check out our shots and share as you will. Like I said, this one is all things EPL. Now, my brother, we just want to talk about a few things, highlights of the season so far in EPL. So then we move to Manchester United. Another team that have made so many horrible decisions on the managerial level up until this point. As we speak, United is 13th on the table, 26 points. About 10 points. Yeah, 10 points from the safety zone. What have you made of United this season and presently?
There's a reason that this team has underperformed in the last few years. One of the reasons being the quality of players that the club has bought. You cannot discount it any way you want to look at it, any way you want to dice it. The club hasn't bought the level of players that would put United on the map. A few of them were big names. A few of them were, names. But you would see, if you look at the squad that United has, how many players do they have that they had to battle other clubs for, other top clubs for? If you look at it, you will see that's always an indicator, right? if you bought an established player, who else wanted that player? How were you able to get that player in the first place? So that's one thing. Another big problem I see at United, which frustrates me as even a non-fan, is the level of PR that happens in the club. Anything that happens in the dressing room, happens in the boardroom, leaks out to the press within record time. A club cannot function that way, right? Maybe they are the poster club of the United Kingdom of England, that there has to be something said about them in the press every day. I do not understand how they will live and be successful operating that way, right? If you're a club of that profile, people feast on your news, then you have to own what comes out of the club. Things happen in the dressing room, you hear them, then you see them in the newspapers the next day, see them on the internet the next day. And so that culture needs to be fixed for the club to move forward. And so they brought in a smart young coach that wants to be successful. He's doing and saying the right things. He's trying to make a change. But I wonder whether he really has the backing that he's supposed to have to be successful. If you don't give someone the tools to be successful, the person can and never will be successful. So it comes to a clear out, really. I don't know how many of that team right now, that the other day there was a debate when they were supposed to play, was it Brighton? Or they were supposed to play one other club. And United fans were asking, how many of our players will get into this Brighton team? Was it Brighton or one other club? One of the mid-level. I don't think it was Brighton, though. I think it was either Brighton or Aston Villa. Recently, they played one of the, up-and-coming... I think it was Newcastle. It was Newcastle. They were asking, how many of our players will get into the Newcastle team? How many of the Newcastle team will get into our team now? So when you make those comparisons, you start to wonder, okay, you see where your players are. They are not just where they're supposed to be in terms of quality, So that's the predicament that Amorim finds himself in. He will have to find a way, for the next few windows, with the support of the board, find a way to get rid of the players that he doesn't need, replace them with the players he needs.
This video is sponsored by ANGE OUT Pharmacy and Wellness Center out there in Cypress area in Houston, Texas, owned by a Black Nigerian couple in Houston. I know there is huge community of Nigerians and Africans out there in Houston. Go out there for your prescription drugs, over-the-counter drugs, and even your pet medications. You can trust products from here. They also got you for consultation and professional medical advice. Check them out and thank me later. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I have a little issue with what you said, or that position is. First of all, I love Amorim. He's a young coach. Like you said, he's honest. He says it the way he says it. Though in EPL, he needs to learn that he can't be honest all the time. Not tell lies, but don't have to say everything all the time, because sometimes it comes back to haunt you. He can be naive and be just saying it exactly how he is. But the problem is, looking at, you can talk about backing, but now there are stringent rules in EPL, especially when it comes to financials. So even if United have 1 billion today to sign players, they can't spend that money except they are profitable as well. So the earlier he understands that, the earlier the people who are calling for the board backing understand that, the better for them, because they have to be patient. It's going to take time because they can't be spending. They can't. I'm sure United have a list of players they can buy today to improve that spot, but they can't just spend that way. So he has to look inwards. That's what I've been saying the past few weeks, that he needs to adapt his philosophy a little bit to suit some of these players that he has already. And as the team start to do well and they manage to sell players, then he can get the players that he wants to implement his philosophy. Because just like we have some teams have been in the past, teams like Arsenal, and even when City started, some of those players cannot attract the kind of money that United spent on them. So to offload them is going to be a problem. The only thing you have to do, you have to think between releasing the books from the heaviness or the weight of their salaries to use it to bring more players. Then you now have to go and negotiate players who will not cost you much in transfer windows so that you can balance the book. So it's going to be a lot of work. So they need work both on the field and those in the financial department and the marketing and signing and scouting department. So it's a lot of things have to come into, they have to be harmonized for this thing to work. So first of all, and you know that what drives this process is what happens on the pitch. If the team starts to win games, then you're able to attract some players to you and also sell the ones you have. Because if for instance, let's swap it that Ahmad is Anthony now. Anthony is scoring goals, but Anthony is not what you need. I mean, it's easier for you to sell him if he has 7 goals this season or 8 goals. But if he's not doing well on the pitch, you can't sell him. So you're stuck with that kind of player. So that's just a comparison right there. So for me, Amorim needs to find a way. I know sometimes it's not the coach's fault, but he has to find a way to stop United from losing games. Because if they keep conceding and losing, the job becomes more and more difficult because you can't get rid of players. You can't get the players that you want. You're losing games. You're just stuck there. It's not going to work. So he needs to find a way to, I don't know, maybe give away something a little bit for his philosophy and see because sometimes if you can't win it, draw it. Don't lose. That 1 point can get you out of relegation sometimes, or can give the team confidence. United have become a cup club. They go to cup games, they find a way, they win. It looks like things are happening, but nothing is happening. So I think Amorim, a good coach, they got right there. Like you said, there's so much going wrong with the club upstairs. But on the pitch, if you can't get results, a whole lot can work. So that's my view on that. I don't know if you have more to add before we move on that one.
Solid points. You have to find a way to get results. But I think he will get results. He will start getting results soon because you can see there are changes happening. The team will do this or do that. It's working. It worked against Arsenal for them. Against Brighton today, it hasn't worked. So there will be some level of inconsistency until they get used to the way of playing with the tools that he has. Then they will start to consider. You see, I was listening to one of the podcasters on United, a very popular one, Mark Goldbridge, and his stance was that you had a goalkeeper like De Gea that was consistently the player of the year, and they wanted to get a goalkeeper that can play with his feet. Now they brought in Onana. That Onana hasn't proven to be a player that can even use his feet properly in the way that they want to use it. And he can't use his hands anywhere close to how the guy can use his hands. So these are some of the issues that they are facing from the goalkeeping department. I honestly, if I were the coach, I would have been playing Banadia or whatever his name is called. I would have given him a chance to really fight for that shade with Onana. I don't see anything Onana is offering.
I think you could get to that. I'm sure deep down into Amorim's heart, I'm sure he wants to get rid of Onana. So probably he's giving him a chance to see if he can find. Onana is also a character. If you start to bench him and he starts his off-pitch antics, he can destroy the dressing room.
The dressing room. You're right.
Another thing too, I want to also say is, I think people need to also start to support some of this. I don't think United, they need to sign a lot of players, but they have players too who have good quality. Honestly, I was looking at Leniyero today. He's going to be a good player for United. Bruno Fernandes, he has his antics, but in quality-wise, he's a good player. It's just that maybe he's found himself where he looks like he's the all-and-all. So sometimes he gets away with some of those things. These things that talk about him in United, he doesn't do it in Portuguese national team because there are so many players that are good there. So they have this Amadero coming on now. Meno, I remember doing a video last year and I said, United, if you guys know you're going to provide the right platform for this young man to thrive, give him to play teams that have the platform to help him. Look at Amad Diallo now. The way what he's doing. If he continues doing this and nothing changes in the team, it's going to affect him as well. So I think Amorim can still find 10, 11 players in that squad that can use to work week in, week out. And that's one thing he needs to learn. At an EPL, you need to keep a high percentage of the same players week in, week out to form their chemistry and their harmonize their understanding of each other to be able to do anything in EPL. You can't keep changing your 11 every week, just because you're trying to try something. It doesn't work like that. In EPL, you keep 80% of your squad week in, week out, then you can make few substitutions. But he's making a lot of too many changes in games.